The Israeli government's approved the construction of 3,400 illegal settler housing units in a move that would effectively cut off occupied East Jerusalem from the occupied West Bank. The illegal settlement, known as E1, would seriously undermine attempts to create a two-state solution. The only internationally recognized boundary between Israel and Palestine is known as the Green Line. But in 1967, Israel occupied the West Bank. Since then, it's annexed East Jerusalem and it's built illegal settlements in and around there. You can see them here in blue. In 2002, Israel started building a separation wall around them, cutting them off from the rest of the occupied West Bank. You can see the separation wall here in red. Now, this is known as the E1 plan. It aims to create, as we said, more than 3,000 illegal Israeli settlement units. Once implemented, the plan would connect the illegal Israeli settlements with Israeli-annexed East Jerusalem, cutting deeper into the occupied West Bank. Mustafa Barghouti is the Secretary General of the Palestinian National Initiative. He's joining us from Ramallah. The map that we were showing our viewers there is fairly self-explanatory, but I wonder if you could just describe to us what the impact would be for the future of a unified Palestinian state.
For many years, the fascist Israeli settlers wanted this plan to be implemented, and the pressure on Israel prevented it from happening. Now they are proceeding with it by the plan of the fascist minister Smotrich, and his plan now was approved by the Israeli government. This is a death sentence to the idea and the possibility of a Palestinian independent state, because this plan will completely separate the West Bank in two pieces, shatter them into two pieces that are totally not connected, without any contiguity, and it will also, as you said, isolate Jerusalem completely from the rest of the occupied Palestinian West Bank. But more than that, thousands and thousands of Palestinians will be displaced, and many, many communities in the vicinity of Jerusalem area will be destroyed. This is another act of ethnic cleansing that Israel is planning to do. But the most important thing is that this is a plan to kill the possibility and the idea of a two-state solution or of a Palestinian independent state.
You mentioned that this plan had been around for a long time and it was postponed predominantly because of external pressure. I understand a lot of that pressure, of course, in the past came from the US, but also from the EU and member countries within that. What happened to that pressure? What's changed?
The United States changed. They are supporting settlement activities. They never protest against settlement activities. The ambassador of the United States, Mr. Huckabee, said clearly that he said horrible things like there are no Palestinian people. I mean, that Palestinian people don't exist. And he claimed that West Bank is a Jewish land and settlements should not be called settlements. So clearly, Israel would not have proceeded with this terrible plan, which destroys any potential for peace or compromise, without the American support. And we haven't heard any word from President Trump that he's objecting to Judaisation of the West Bank or annexation of the illegal annexation of the West Bank territory. Now this will continue unless the world community starts immediately, and especially European countries start immediately imposing sanctions on Israel. Without real, powerful sanctions on Israel, without military embargo on Israel, Israel will not stop and will continue this process of destruction of the lives of people in Gaza, as you have described, and the lives of the people in the West Bank as well, destroying any potential for peace in this region.
Over the last several months, we've been reporting on the increase, a significant increase on attacks on Palestinians by Israeli settlers. How have Palestinians been preparing for this move? Because this plan, as we've been talking about, has been around for a long time. It was initially given approval by Bezalel Smotrich a week ago.
Well, as you know, Palestinians have no army to stand up to the Israeli army. Palestinians are practically disarmed. And of course, there is a lot of political and popular resistance to this plan. We have had hundreds of demonstrations before against these plans. But in reality, the matter now is in the hands of the international community. And if there is something that the Palestinian Authority should do is to unite Palestinians as soon as possible. What we need now is a truly unified Palestinian leadership with a clear strategy to stand up to these acts of settlements and the fascist expansion of settlements that is going on in the West Bank, and to protect Palestinian people. As you said, during the last 2 years, settlers' terror has expanded dramatically. During the last year, thousands of settler terrorist attacks happened against different Palestinian communities. No less than 11 Palestinians were killed this year by Israeli terrorists. But also, the army is participating in these attacks, and we had 1,000 Palestinians in the West Bank killed already by the Israeli settlers and the Israeli army. So what we need here is, of course, unity of Palestinians, but also we need a strong international pressure on Israel in the forms of sanctions, not statements. Statements mean nothing. Condemnations mean nothing to the Israeli government. Only sanctions will force them to change their course.
Mustafa Barghouti, Secretary General of the Palestinian National Initiative. Thank you very much indeed for being with us on Al Jazeera.
Thank you.
Don't miss out. Get the full picture. Subscribe to Al Jazeera for reliable news and expert insights. Like, share, stay ahead.